Well, he made his acting debut at 15 years old. Actor, filmmaker, podcast host. He's got the podcast literally now. Second season of The Floor, which is a very sticky, that's a term people use, a very sticky game show. And it's premiering Wednesday at 9. He's also a massive sports fan who I had lunch with last week. So I'm going to go fanboy on this.
Okay.
Just
all right.
tolerate my nonsense for 5 minutes.
Okay, Colin.
Okay. He's a great storyteller. So there are movies that just wear well, and then there's great movies that don't.
Yeah.
When you were making Tommy Boy, okay, so I think that's just like, it's like Hangover Tommy Boy.
Wow.
Jack Lemmon had a couple of these in his day, a couple of comedies that you could watch them today and you're like, Mary Tyler Moore is still funny today.
Yes, there are.
Cheers.
Cheers, yes.
Did you know during was there a moment with you, Spade, and you're like, oh, this is going to be huge?
No, never a moment, ever.
Not one.
Not one. I mean, the notion that that movie has become what it has become, and it is. I mean, I have people from all walks of life consistently stop me. Same with Spade, and it just has become a beloved movie. And we never would have thought ever. I mean, we thought we were making something that could be good, but never saw it coming. Having the staying power ever.
Now, you were outstanding lead actor, Emmy nomination for West Wing, which is one of the great, in my opinion, is one of the seminal last great American television shows that, Sopranos was HBO. So it's one of the last shows. It's like I'm watching network. Cheers had this when I was younger.
It was the last great network show.
Yes. I think Modern Family was damn funny.
Yes, it was.
Modern Family, Steve Levitan, the writer, that was damn funny.
Yeah,
so when you were on the West Wing, it also, stories I've read, it's a lot more than people think. It's egos, writing. Was that enjoyable or was it just successful?
Here's okay. The way I always put it is, no one ever wants to hear how hard it was to be in the Beatles. do you know what I mean?
Right.
Right?
You had all these great actors. Nobody wants to hear it.
Nobody wants to know. They just want to love the show, which is great. It happened to be a very complicated set for any number of reasons. But the work was always so amazing, and we all knew how grateful we were. We were all very grateful to be on it. So we were under no illusion. That's when we knew we were making something great. We knew we were making something great. Meanwhile, that thing of you never want to hear how they make the sausage.
Right.
That wasn't very pretty. But the outcome, I mean, is one of the it's probably the thing I'm most proud of still.
Now, you knew the Austin Powers stuff because Mike Myers was red hot. He's brilliant. You knew that was going to be big.
I did. The studio didn't. I mean, just go back. I know it's almost impossible because of what that movie became and what it was. But like, here's the pitch. So it's a James Bond parody of a guy with bad teeth with a Cockney accent, and then there's a bald guy named Doctor. People are like, what? But we all knew it would work
On the set.
Yes.
Just funny.
Oh, I will never forget being there when he was ad-libbing as Dr. Evil to little Vern Troyer. That looks like a baby to me. I'd like to eat that baby. I mean, you just die.
Right. You knew it was big.
Yeah.
So you had like a lot of young stars in Los Angeles. It is impossible not to dabble in the crazy side of life. But you actually are a doting dad, husband. Do you ever think you had the self-awareness to get it right?
Yeah, I've been sober 34 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got you there? Was there an epiphany, a moment, a party?
Yes.
Oh, really?
And what's interesting about, they call them, when you hit your bottom, right? And everybody has a different bottom. Some are really, really, they're in jail. Some of them are really bad. Mine wasn't all that bad, but it was enough for me to go, you know what? This is untenable. I'm never going to have the kind of life I dream about. I'm never going to be able to make it work with one woman. And it was just as simple as my beloved grandfather had a heart attack, and my mom was calling me in the days of answering machines. And I could hear her on the answering machine saying, pick up, pick up, pick up. but I was in no shape to do it. So I didn't pick up. And I just hated that about myself. And I went into the bathroom. I looked myself in the mirror like it was like a bad movie. It was like an after-school special. I literally went in and looked at myself in the mirror and was like, this has got to end. And made a phone call, went to rehab, which I loved. I treated it like training camp.
Really?
Training camp for life. Loved it. And that was 34 years ago.
Good for you. Thanks for sharing that.
You bet.
Speaking of, you said bottom, and when you said that, I thought floor, and you are on, this is fascinating.
Yeah.
So you did a game show, and people think, oh, Rob went around the corner. No, you actually went to Dublin. Tell people about this show is hot and sticky.
Yeah, it's amazing how embraced this.
So you sent everybody to Ireland.
This show's become a phenomenon. I never saw that. Talk about not seeing it coming. I knew the game was great, super addicting. I knew people liked it, but you never know if it's going to pop off like it has. And what's so interesting is we shoot it in Ireland. And we go to Ireland because it makes financial sense to do it. But it's just one of the great sort of inside Hollywood stories that's where we do it. It's just kind of like what, really? Yeah.
And you shoot a season very quickly.
We can shoot a season in 10 days. It's a lot of work.
Did you take your golf clubs?
I sure did.
Because you're a great golfer.
How about this? I got off an international flight, went right to a run through, went to the hotel, just pulled out my golf clothes. There was a course right next to the hotel, and went and tied my career best, shot a 79.
You're
jet lagged. Jet lag's great for the golf swing.
That slows it down.
Yeah.
You're on a short list of the best celebrity golfers. You just won a tournament, didn't you? Or didn't you?
I did. They can't take it away from me.
Riviera.
At Riv. I won a golf tournament at Riv. Now, it was my son, John Owen, Michael Crabtree.
Yeah.
Who's an athlete. And then, what is this amazing actress's name who's a great golfer? Newton is her last name. I'll think of her first name. But she's a stick. We basically won because she was such a stick. But still, a win's a win. I'm taking it.
Yeah, you're a huge, we talked about this at lunch. You're a big baseball fan.
Love baseball.
You love. Did you play it?
I did. I played it up until coaches started saying, you missed practice for your auditions. Okay. And they kicked me off the team.
Yeah, Walker Buehler just went to practice. You had auditions.
Walker Buehler went to practice. I had auditions. I could have been Walker Buehler.
You were on NBA commercials years and years and years ago. NBA is fantastic.
Yes.
It's hard to explain to people because people think Los Angeles, it's the beach. They don't care about sports.
Right.
The Lakers, when they're hot, will always be number one in the city. Not the NFL, not the Dodgers.
That's right.
Take people back. It's incredible to the Magic, Johnson. I mean, they're making movies about it. Take them back to that.
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, what Magic meant to this town when he arrived here, it was like Santa Claus had arrived. And then he lived up to it. What he did in that Game 6 in Philadelphia where he played all 5 positions.
42 points, 17 boards. He played center, basically.
Played center in his rookie year. You just can't believe. And then, of course, the style of play, which has now, been, every other team has adapted. That run and gun was not a thing.
That's right.
It did not exist.
You know what's amazing? There are athletes, infrequent, but athletes. If you go back and look at Magic's rookie year, second year, Rob, like most of that stuff, like Jim Brown, people say could play today.
Yeah.
Magic would still be today. If you look at it, usually things don't age well. Be the best player in the league.
100%.
I've always said Michael and Magic are much closer. Michael got the 9 finals. No, Magic did. Michael got the 6. The Blackhawks are in the Western Conference in hockey. If the Bulls were in the Western Conference, Michael goes to a final or 2 and loses to Bird or Isaiah, and we get over this 6-for-6 thing. Magic was in the finals 9 times and retired early.
Yes, he could have played as long as he wanted to.
And have you ever been to an event with Magic in L.A.? When Magic enters Staples, they stand.
Yes, they do.
To this day.
They do it all over the world. I've seen him in Europe. And, I mean, first of all, he can't hide. There's no one who looks like him. Everybody knows what he looks like.
Smile, big smile.
The smile, the energy. I mean, my two guys growing up were Magic and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the guys I never bet against. They were the classiest, best in class. And to have had floor seats for that run, and even into Shaq and Kobe, we'll never see anything like it again.
Has there ever been a sports movie you wanted to be in, or you were offered and didn't? Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Well, what I want to do is I want to remake the all-time greatest sports movie. I'm too old for it now. Brian's Song.
Oh, God, I cried. I watched that as a kid. We all cried to it.
Okay, so this is my philosophy is you ask any boomer male.
It was the first sports movie. It was the first movie we cried to.
100%, right? I'm not crazy.
No, Brian's Song is, in fact, not joking. I looked it up on YouTube a month ago. I was sitting there getting nostalgic. These guys are looking at me. They're all in their 30s. They have no idea what Brian's Song is.
For all listeners, viewers out there, find it. I think it's on YouTube.
It is.
It's James Caan at the peak. Billy D. Williams at the peak.
Is it Gale Sayers, Brian Piccolo?
It's Gale Sayers, Brian Piccolo, Chicago Bears. It's by far, hands down, not close, the best sports movie ever made.
I'm not arguing. A month ago, I looked it up.
By the way, this is a man who makes his living being a contrarian, and he is not arguing. That is I'm glad. I feel like I've accomplished something here.
I mean, I like Hoosiers, but I didn't cry.
The Natural?
I liked it. Miracle, I think, is great.
Yes.
Miracle, you got one.
Rudy?
They're all good. None of them made me cry. That's,
Yeah.
Okay, you've aged well, Rob. Actor, filmmaker, podcast host. The Floor, Season 2 premiere on September 25th here on Fox. And what a pleasure to see you again, man.
Yeah, I love coming here and talking sports with you. It's just the best.
One of the great lunches of all time. My wife's rarely jealous of me. I mentioned multiple times. Guess who I had lunch today with? Shut up. Yeah, Rob Lowe. Polo Lounge.
We'll do it again. And more lunches to come.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.